it's something that I've always wanted, right? To get pregnant and
Yeah.
to start a family. But when I realized I was pregnant, it's like I automatically missed the life I had pre-pregnancy.
Whoa. What is going on, people? I hope you are doing well. My name is Cedric Cooper, and welcome to Love and Melanin, where you come to heal, grow, and dwell in the beauty of being in love and melanin. I'm here with my beautiful co-host, also my wife. How you doing tonight, babe?
I'm doing well. I'm excited for this topic.
Me too. Tonight is going to be majority focused on some of the strongest creations on this earth, if not the strongest creation on this earth, and that is the woman. But more importantly, we're going to talk about the one thing that no other creation on this earth, other than the creator, can do, and that is pregnancy. We're going to talk about the difficult things that you go through mentally, physically, overall about pregnancy. And I'm really going to be interviewing Deja on this because I have no input as much other than like the male's perspective, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So my men, you may learn something, okay? So with that being said, the title of tonight's message is going to be When Pregnancy Comes Knocking, dealing with the transition of being parents. That's where we could be involved there. So let's start off with a story, babe. Let's kind of give our audience an idea of what pregnancy was like for us from the planning side. Like when we first decided that we wanted to get pregnant. Tell everybody how it went.
Okay, so I've always knew I wanted a family, and obviously we've had multiple conversations. We finally got on the same page in regards of what we wanted in regards of longevity, and we decided to start trying for a kid. So the minute we both agreed that we were ready, oh my gosh, I went psycho.
Yo, like general, straight
on the
general.
clock, like ready to do it whenever I needed. Especially, I mean, I bought the strips so I can know when I was ovulating. In a sense, I was very much so rushing it, and I couldn't wait to get pregnant. So
I just want to, man, it is very difficult for for me, like I love my wife and I love being intimate with my wife. But when it's intimacy on command, I'm ovulating, it's time to go. Like right now, like, hey, when are you coming home? Like when it's like a task, oh my gosh, it was definitely different. But keep going, babe. I just had to add my 2 cents.
Yeah, so it finally, and when I say finally, maybe 2 weeks later, it got to the point where it was like, it was very forced.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't making you feel great, right? I felt like I was using you as a tool.
Using my body. Using my body for the work.
It was just very apparent I was getting stressed out over it, and I shouldn't say 2 weeks, maybe 2 months, where we were trying, and I was, we were aggressively trying. I was getting my period, and I realized, it doesn't make sense to force things, because when you force something, that's when things just don't unravel the way that they're supposed to.
But what was that like for you, right? What was that like for you? Because I believe we were in a space where, you really, really, really wanted to be pregnant.
Yeah.
And you would go on social media and those great algorithms, I'm being sarcastic, would remind you of everybody getting pregnant, everyone doing gender reveals, doing everything that you wanted to do at that time. How hard was that for you?
It's always difficult when you see everyone, again, because of algorithms, so you think everyone is pregnant, right? When you see everyone in a stage or a season that you wish to be in. But I kept trying to tailor my mindset in regards of understanding that my time will never miss me. And it's my time to be happy for others, right? Because I'm not in the season of pregnancy. But it was all a mindset thing. And I think it took me being able to understand that God will never fail me. My body will never fail me. And I just need to not fail myself in my relationship, because I felt like I was so excited. And full transparency, I was ready before you were.
Yeah.
So I think I was just so excited that you said, I'm good, I'm ready, let's go. And that the minute you said that, I was just ready to just get it on and popping. And I just wanted to just get pregnant right then and there. So I think, seeing people on social media, being where I want to be, but I'm just not there yet, allowed me to understand that my time is coming and patience is all I need to operate with from now.
I think that's very important that you said that you kind of came to the understanding of like, my time is going to be my time. Put it in God's hands and let it kind of take care of itself. And I think that's very important, because then we got to a gray area. And the gray area, which I'm sure all couples are aware of, is we aren't trying, but we aren't preventing, right? We were kind of just going with the flow. And then all of a sudden, whoop.
I was like, my period's late. Where's my period? Maybe I should just take a test. Maybe. I mean, I had zero idea that we were even had a chance that month.
Mm-hmm.
And I took the test. I remember I was in the closet. Well, I was in our room, and then I took the test. I hid the test in the closet, and I just waited for the answer to come, and it showed 2 lines, and I was like, oh, it's time.
Mm-hmm. And mind you guys, at this time, we have family in town, right? Deja's aunt is in town. Nobody knows this information but Deja. And tell them, Deja, you went to the grocery store and you now have this information. You're extremely anxious. You're going to the grocery store. You're with your aunt. You're trying your best to not expose the surprise. And so how did that kind of pan out? When did you, how did that kind of go?
I freaked out. Literally, I remember I was going to take my aunt to the bank, and it was 4:30, and the bank closed at 5. We were 15 minutes away. I was like, all right, listen, I've got to stop at Kroger, because I had only one test at the house. I was like, there's no way that I'm actually pregnant. So I had to run into Kroger. I took a test at Kroger, and it said pregnant. And the minute I got back in that car, I was like, I can't hold it in anymore. So I literally looked at my aunt. I was like, I know I should probably do this in a cuter way, but I'm freaking out right now. So here you go. And I handed her the test. And then we went to Target to figure out how can we surprise you.
Right. And boy, was it a surprise.
Yes.
And so, mind you, everybody, this day, mind you, I don't know anything, right? This day is a regular day for me. I'm just vibing. I'm working. Was it the weekend? It was the weekend.
No, it wasn't the weekend.
It wasn't the weekend. Well, if it wasn't the weekend, it was any other day. Worked, did what I had to do, relaxing, cool, and I was just leaving the gym. I just got done working out. I came back to the house. Yeah. They're sitting there in the most perfect posture, kind of waiting for me to get home. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. I said, hey guys, hope you guys had a good time doing your errands. I said, I'm about to go take a shower. And they were just like, oh, okay, you're about to go take a shower? I said, yeah, I'm about to go take a shower. Oh, okay, you go ahead and take a shower. I said, all right, you guys are being weird. So I go take a shower, and I'm taking my sweet time, right? I lit a candle. I'm playing some nice chill hot beats. I'm vibing. Had the lights off, right? I'm just in my space. I'm really decompressing. And so all of a sudden I hear, babe, are you done? I'm like, yo, why are you interrupting my mojo right now? Right? I said, yes, I'm almost done. And then she called me again. She was like, babe. I was like, all right. So I turned the light on, blew out the candle, and I opened the door. And as I opened the door, there's a sign saying Baby Cooper loading with a whole bunch of candy and a onesie and everything. And for the men, right? This is completely unplanned. I didn't even think that she would be pregnant or anything like that. So I'm sitting there completely baffled, right? And then the waterworks start coming, right? I don't know why, right? I was excited, but at the same time, the waterworks started coming, right? And there were tears of joy. And I was hugging her. We were having so much fun and everything. And then I looked to the corner of the room and I see a phone recording me. Now, mind you, I'm just now getting out of the shower. I don't have on any towels. I'm butt naked. So unfortunately, nobody will ever see that video. You will never see it because I am slanging and danging all throughout the room,
Really?
crying,
Really?
right? I'm crying. I'm crying. And we now have this information. And so from there, babe, once you figure out that you're pregnant, what starts going through your mind? Like, what is the process for the women out there? What is the process once you figure out, okay, I'm pregnant? What is the next? Do you start doing a dive into a whole bunch of research as to what does pregnant women think? What are my symptoms? What does that kind of look like?
Well, I think the first step is acknowledging and believing that you're actually pregnant.
Wow.
It's like something that I just remember always waiting to have a family. And I feel like it was so surreal because I was on the verge of about to create one. And so I remember we were living a great life. It was October-ish time frame, beautiful weather. You know, we were out and about doing whatever we needed to do. And then all of a sudden, abruptly, I'm pregnant. Life changes. All right. Like I have to move differently. I have to think differently. We have to think more futuristic in regards of the plans that we need to put in place so that we can set our kid up for success. So I think it was just like an overload of feelings, emotions, hormones.
Yeah.
And the first thing that I did was research, an OBGYN, an African-American OBGYN that had great ratings online. And I booked an appointment and I just waited for that complete confirmation once I got there that I was pregnant.
Wow. So it sounds like a lot is going on in your mind at this time.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just like, my body is about to go through a complete metamorphosis. Moment, right? You're about to create life. Right. There is another human baking inside of you. The melanin is working. The neuromelanin is really putting in effect, and your body is now creating a whole nother life, a whole nother soul. So I think that's pretty important for people to really put into perspective, because how do you prepare for something that you've never experienced before?
You don't. And something I do want to call out in full transparency is that it's something that I've always wanted, right? To get pregnant and to start a family. But when I realized I was pregnant, it's like I automatically missed the life I had pre-pregnancy.
Whoa.
So I feel like I was mentally battling, this is something I've always wanted versus I was living my life. Like I was living and having a great time. We found community friends, near us. We were trying new things.
We just found that bar. We just found that bar right down the street, having drinks and everything, and then
enjoying life, and then bam,
life change.
And it's something I wanted. It's something I wanted, but this is just a testament to even things that you want are going to put you in uncomfortable situations because it's the unknown that you just don't know about. Right. And it's okay to have an influx of different emotions because that is normal. You have no idea what to expect.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I experienced.
Wow. So it sounds like reality kind of set in and hit you because there's always that in between of the things we want, and then when it actually happens, the responsibility that comes with it.
Right.
And you were living within that responsibility because not only were you having to prepare, but you also were having to physically and mentally deal with the next 9 months. Right. That was going to happen because it changed everything. You couldn't drink. You couldn't eat everything that you wanted. Well, I take that back.
No.
You were eating whatever you wanted. Yo,
it was
cravings, pregnancy cravings.
Wild.
Men, get ready.
Well, I didn't care how much money I spent on food.
Yo,
I wanted what I wanted, and I wanted it now, and I did not care how I was going to get it. I was figuring it out.
You wanted what you wanted at all different times of the night. I'm talking about 11, 12, 1 o'clock. She just like, I want ice cream. What?
Yeah, ice cream
what?
is my fave.
We talk about ice cream a lot on this. Yo, we love some ice cream. I want a greasy cheeseburger. I want a random sandwich from somewhere. I want chips. I want candy. I want anything that she wanted. She wanted it now. And there was no discussion on price, spending, it was like, get what you want. And mind you, men, I would highly recommend. Hey everybody, what's going on? We really appreciate you taking the time to delve into Love and Melanin and the conversations that we have on this show. Please make sure to like, subscribe, leave comments, give us other topics you would like to hear, things that we have not covered possibly. And also make sure to follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, and wherever we are available on other platforms. With that being said, please enjoy the show.
You remember that time I was craving hibachi? So we literally, just you and I, I feel like you go to live hibachi when there's an occasion, like someone's birthday, an anniversary.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, listen, we're about to go sit at this place, this bar. What is it? They cook in front of you, their grill.
Yep.
And we are going to go through this entire experience. We are celebrating nothing besides my craving.
Right.
And it was amazing.
It was
That's
amazing.
all I have to say.
So there's going to be certain occasions like that where it's just like, she's going to want what she's going to want. But here's my advice to the men. When you have a wife or a partner that is pregnant and they have cravings, just take care of the cravings. If they want food, whatever it is, the majority of it is going to be food. Because when you made a statement about the hormones, bless you, that was a real thing. Like, that was a real thing. I want you to talk about that a little bit. What happens to your hormones when you're pregnant?
You have an overload of them, right? Because you're developing another human inside of you that's providing that needs hormones as well to continue to grow and to mature.
Yeah.
And so you have an influx of these things that control your entire body, that control your entire mood, your mindset. And it just takes power in being able to take your mindset back, not allowing your hormones to control your entire day, because it's very easy to do so.
Okay.
You have I mean, you can be happy one minute, you can be crying the next. You can be excited one minute, you can be angry the next. Like, it doesn't make any sense, but I think, definitely reclaiming your mind, but also giving yourself grace.
Mm-hmm.
And I see in here you have a question in regards of what is the most important thing women need to know when it comes to pregnancy.
Can we hold that thought? I want to tell a quick story. So, on the hormones part, Deja and I are spending some time together. We're having a great time throughout the day. I think we went for a walk. I think we were just vibing out. And so we decided to go to Upbeat. For those that live in Atlanta, or I don't know if Upbeat is an international place of food and restaurant, but Upbeat is a great place that we love to go to get a nice healthy meal, a nice healthy bowl, right? Different ingredients. And we're standing in line. I cracked a joke. We just got done laughing at this joke. And I'm looking around, just having a good time, just looking at all the different people. And then all of a sudden I turn back around. Deja is crying. Like, crying. And I'm like, baby, you okay? Like, what's going on? And she's just sitting there. Just going crazy. Next thing you know, people looking at us, people thinking I'm probably an abusive husband or something. Like, I'm just looking there like, yo, and at that moment, it really clicked to me. It clicked to me that this hormone stuff is
uncontrollable sometimes.
It's uncontrollable. Because you could be mad at one point, and then out of nowhere be laughing. And you're going to be looking at your partner like, yo, there is a loose screw. Like you lost a piece of your mind. That's just like, whoop, like you just can't find it.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there like, okay, that was a moment for me where I was just like, okay, you really don't know what she's going through. So I couldn't really respond my natural way of responding or be so probing, trying to figure out what you were going through.
Right.
But let's go to the point where you said the question that you wanted to address is, what do I think is the most important thing women need when it comes to going through pregnancy?
Giving yourself grace, which most women are not perfect at. I'm nowhere near perfect at it, but your entire life changes the minute you find out this information. Your mindset changes, your day-to-day changes, your energy changes. And I went from being on a strict schedule of waking up, journaling, working on my self-love, my doing self-care, going to the gym. Like I was very stringent, right? Doing great at work, to all of a sudden being exhausted and not having the energy. I had to pick and choose where I needed to exude my energy to, because I knew I couldn't do all the things I was doing before. And it was hard for me. It was very hard for me because I felt like I was on a roll. Everyone knows you feel good when you're on a schedule. I couldn't maintain that schedule. And that was the first time where I was like, I'm either going to be hard on myself and not enjoy my pregnancy because I'm so focused on the things that I didn't get done, or I'm going to give myself grace. I'm going to listen to my body, and I'm going to do the things that allow me to, I'm going to do the things that I have the energy for. And I think that's one simple example of just giving yourself grace, listening to your body, and being able to trust that you're doing what you need to do. And then the rest, just let go. Just let go, rest, because rest is the most important thing for your body when you're pregnant.
Right. And I'm glad you are pointing that out, that grace is important, because I think that's something that is encompassing and can speak to every pregnancy. Every pregnancy process is different. Someone may have no cravings. Someone may have crazy hormones. Someone may not have any of the symptoms. But the one thing that it sounds like you are attesting is that you need to have grace and give yourself space to really grow this human, to grow this little life that you're bringing into the world. Tell me something. When the pregnancy was going on, I know you were doing a lot of research in regards of staying prepared. There were moments where you came to me and you expressed worry because African American women, they had a high death rate of pregnancy. What was it like kind of pushing through that as a Black woman, knowing that that was something that could possibly be on the table, even with no sort of preconceived signals that something could go wrong? What was going through your mind at that time?
I think it was very hard for me. I think African Americans struggled with healthy deliveries for a very long time, but with the, awareness of social media and how unfiltered information is, I think it's just been leaking, and it's just been, very apparent. And people have the ability to speak about this issue on this platform, right? So I think I was trying to find a balance of not diving in too deep so that I'm stressing myself out and I'm overthinking, which just creates unwanted anxiety. But on the opposite side, I was like, I need to be aware. I need to be educated. I need to know what to look for when I'm sitting in this hospital room and I'm relying on this nurse. I'm relying on this doctor to take care of me and this child. So I think, again, it was, I did a good job of studying what was causing a lot of these issues with African American women. A lot of it was hypertension, which is just high blood pressure, right?
Yeah.
So I've just did the things that I was able to control in order to decrease the amount of concern, or I guess concern of me having, high blood pressure within my pregnancy and delivery.
Thank you for sharing that. And as a husband, as someone seeing you kind of go through this, I think one of the things that a man could do is do his research as well. Mm-hmm. There were tons of times where you sent me articles, you sent me videos, and instead of bypassing it and trying to say, oh, get out of your head, I dove into it. I started to read. I started to really understand that this could be something that is devastating, yes or no, right? So it even got to a point where those great algorithms were showing me there was a brother whose wife passed from having a C-section, and she wasn't sewn up quick enough, and she was losing a lot of blood, and he was constantly asking the doctors, hey, can you guys check in on this? Can you check in on this? And they weren't necessarily making it a priority, only to, unfortunately, have her go and transition. Mm-hmm. And with him having a new baby and doing all those different things, he's having to stomach that and stand in front of thousands of people explaining what happened, and now having to be a single dad. Yeah. That kind of goes through the man's perspective too. And I had to realize that was that's a thing.
Yeah.
And so I think I was doing my part for you because I was also diving into the research that you were also sending me. Mm-hmm. So I think that's definitely something important that women may need, and you can confirm that women may need when it comes to going through that pregnancy.
Yeah, I think having a supportive partner is very healthy, especially when you're pregnant. And I say that because I got pregnant during, the depths of COVID. I guess not the depths, but throughout COVID, right? Yeah. And there were ways you would have loved to support me, but you couldn't. I.e., you could not come to any appointments with me.
None.
Besides the ending.
Yourself.
Besides the ending, right? Yeah. Like you're able to come to 2 or 3 because they finally allowed visitors in. But so I was trying to figure out ways that, one, I can keep you in the loop, right? Keep you feeling connected. I'm carrying this baby. You're not. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching Love and Melanin. Please remember to subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, and comment below in the comment section on different topics you would love to hear us discuss moving forward. And with that being said, we are about to hop right back into the show.
COVID completely changed the whole process of pregnancy.
Yep.
Completely changed it. There's a connection that builds when the husband and the wife, the male and the female, the partners, they go in, they see the ultrasounds, they talk to the doctors, they ask all the questions. For someone like yourself going through all of that, not having somebody else there, that's a whole different level of anxiety. And then trying your best to transfer the same amount of doctor dialogue that you got.
Yeah.
You're not sitting there with a whole bunch of notes and journals and everything. They send you a bunch of paperwork that you got to do more research on. But at the same time, it's just like, how can you really explain the process or no, right? What if I was asking you questions and you were just like, I really wish you were there to really go through that. Mm-hmm. So for the parents that really had to go through that, that's hard. Yeah. That is very hard. Hey, buddy.
I think
Daxon wants some attention.
Oh boy.
This is parenting life.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what you're not about to do is just have my titty out.
Yeah, let's definitely make sure that we're not flashing anybody. This is not that type of show.
Mm-hmm. At all.
At all. If you want that type of show, you know where to go get it. But not here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep going. I still think your whole chunk is out. There you go.
I think you brought up something that I haven't heard many people talk about. You know, it's like women naturally connect, most women naturally connect to their childs because they carry them for 9 months. They are constantly being updated on their growth at the doctors, or, you know, you're able to see your little nugget grow on an ultrasound. You didn't have any of that.
None.
How were you able to cope with knowing your life was going to transition, but yet being so far away from the updates and like the reality of it, in a sense?
Honestly, it's a little weird. It's definitely a little weird because here I have people that already have a kid asking me, has it clicked yet? Has it hit you yet that you are about to be a parent? And honestly, I couldn't really give them an answer. I said, no, not really.
Yeah.
And the reason for that was because COVID was preventing me from being included. Outside of you being here and me waiting to feel him move inside your stomach, I'm not seeing anything. You're coming back with maybe ultrasound pictures, but I'm not there. I'm not in the room.
Yeah.
I'm watching from an outside perspective.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really feel like, oh, you're about to be a dad.
Right.
It was hard. It was very hard. And what I did was bury myself into work and try my best to just come up with a way to provide, you know, because those are feelings that happen when a man finds out I'm about to have a kid.
Yeah.
The first questions that come into your mind is, do we have enough? What am I going to leave behind? What legacy am I leaving here? What legacy am I building? I need to work hard. We need more money. Going through this overbuilding phase. Little Dex, he's getting tired.
Okay.
It's okay, buddy.
He's sleepy.
He's sleepy. This is real, people. This is real. This is what it is.
Okay.
You know,
He's back up now.
you learn patience. You learn to just not be so stuck in your ways, because a baby comes into the picture and disrupts all of that. But for the men, I will say that you will go through that moment. Now, mind you, you could already be a millionaire. You could already be doing what you got to do. Ain't no worries, right? But there is still the anxiety that comes, like, what am I going to teach this kid? What am I going to give this kid? What kind of parent do I want to be? Do I want to be the dad that is constantly going and making more money, but you ain't there? Or do I want to be there all the time and miss out on opportunities to make more money to provide a different lifestyle?
Yeah. Or what does that balance look like?
What does that even look like?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I have some friends that are like gung ho, like money. Let me get this bag. I feel you. I got you. When you get a kid, there's no greater example of time and in the moment until you see your kid growing up. If you going away on projects, if you going and you building this bag and you doing all these different things, and you come back and you see your son or your daughter grew a certain amount of life that you weren't there to experience, that takes a lot on you. It's 3 months now. He's 3 months now. And he can see my face. Look at you looking at me right now. He sees my face and he knows I am daddy. This is dad. And that's my boy. And he knows that I'm his father. And he recognizes my face. If you constantly going after the bag, if you constantly trying to get all this money and do all of this, it's like money can't separate your absence. Money can't replace your absence. Money can't be there for you instead of you physically being there. But on top of the man feeling like he has to build everything, the anxiety of, oh man, I have to provide for my kid and everything, being a father is a major responsibility. And this is coming from someone who didn't have a father in the household. I was raised by a single mother with 2 kids, broke her back day in and day out to really provide for us. And mommy, I call her mommy, I don't care, I'm grown, I don't care. Mommy, if you're watching this, I truly appreciate you. Thank you for everything that you sacrificed, doing it by yourself. And I will also say that it's not easy. There's a lot that a single mother has to go through when she doesn't have help.
Right.
There's a lot of scarcity. Yeah. There's a lot of risks that you have to take. There's a lot of things that you're not knowing how to do that a male could come in and help.
Yeah.
You know, so
and 10%.
I wanna put that. I just wanted to.
And shout out to all the single moms.
Yo, shout out to the single moms. Having watched you, babe, go through what you went through as a mom, and with me being there, I can only imagine. I can't imagine how hard it is for a single mom.
You find the strength to go through what you're gonna go through.
Yeah.
I mean, God gives it to you, but I'm telling you, my respect goes out to every single mom out there because it's work. It's hard work. You have to be the mom and the dad. You have to have the heart of a mom and a dad, the discipline of a mom and a dad. Like everything that you as a parent needs to give your child, your son, your daughter, you have to do it times 2.
So true. That is so true. That is so true. And there's no type of responsibility like someone that can't eat, sleep, or breathe, or even live without your involvement. There's no type of responsibility like that.
Yeah, literally.
That's the closest thing. That's the closest thing you feel as being close to God and being God is being a mother. Because you create the life, you have to sustain the life, and you have to maintain the life and give that vessel every single thing it needs to grow and thrive within this realm of living. Right. It's crazy.
Say correct, Dax.
It's great. Hey, I'm on my preachy jump. Let me go ahead. So let's go into now that we're parents. Well, let's not go into the parents yet. Let's go into the process, the things that we did pretty well when it comes to us going through the pregnancy that we can give as advice to other couples once you figure out that you are pregnant. What would you say?
Communicate your feelings.
Wow. Okay.
You are gonna go through an overload of emotions, like I said earlier, and I think the best way that you can make your partner feel included is talk through your feelings and even preface it as such. I know this might not make sense, or I can't thoroughly explain this feeling, but I'm going to try my best. Or, I've been feeling this way, but I don't know why, but I still want to talk it through with you. And I think that right there is very proactive, and it allows your partner to know how to support you instead of leaving them with confusion of all of these additional emotions that are now coming, from the inside out.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's good. And on the male side, I would say just listen. Yeah. Just listen and understand what she's going through. Yep. And sometimes it may not make sense. And I think we learned that mom brain and the pregnancy.
Well, that's pregnancy brain. Now I'm
well, pregnancy brain is a thing. I didn't even realize that was a thing. And pregnancy brain is forgetfulness. It's also with the hormones. It's also with what else? What else kind of comes with it? But it's a combination of different things that happen to your mental.
An imbalance of hormones, an imbalance of mental capacity.
Right. So you may communicate one thing to me and then it completely change. But then there's a certain level of patience that the male has to have and understand. And this is why I go into the male knowing exactly what you kind of go through and do his own research, because then it will make their life a lot easier too. Because, okay, this is something that I read. I was able to be a little bit more patient because I read that this is something that women go through when they go through pregnancy.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think it's important to say that we handled it both ways. There were times where I didn't have the energy to explain my emotions.
Yeah.
And it's me walking around with an attitude, or it's me just, crying it out, or me leaving the house for a few minutes or an hour just to go do something to make me feel better because I don't have the words to express it. Mm-hmm. There are moments where even if I did express it, it was hard for you to understand. You responded with frustration. You've responded with annoyance at times, because though sometimes something is explained to you, it's hard for you to put yourself in that person's shoes. And I think that's where we fell short at times.
Yeah.
So understand that every single day isn't going to be perfect when you're welcoming, pregnancy and your life has transitioned. But I think working at it every single day is what matters the most.
Yeah, and I will add a disclaimer in this moment. I wasn't perfect at this.
Yeah.
These are things that I had to make a mistake with first, then learned, then did better.
Right. Yeah.
You know how I am. I'm very communication oriented. So if you tell me how you feel, we can fix it. Mm-hmm. But if you're going through that, I don't know what you're going through. My immediate response is irritation and confusion because I don't get it.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to me. So I had to make those mistakes, which the most basic irritated comment made you go off because of the imbalance of the hormones.
Right.
And so for that, these are things that I had to learn as Deja was communicating to me different things. So I don't want it to come off as if I did this right the first time. This is our first kid. We're still learning. It's probably going to be different on our second kid. But it is something that is a thing. So I think we are at a good point where we can get to the most sacred. The most sacred, right?
Gonna be in this because
yeah. We're good with him. It's all good. He wants some love. He wants to be
baby,
up and about.
You're tired.
It's all good, buddy.
Okay, mommy gonna try to breastfeed you. Yeah, you want to be. You tired? You tired? Yeah.
So cute.
Okay.
This is a great segue to the next question because it's something that we could both express and something that we're currently living every single day. What went through your mind once Daxon got here?
Gosh.
Once you took a look at your son.
Literally, I was like, oh my gosh, like I was in love. I was scared. I was exhausted, but I was so fulfilled. Like it was all of the different emotions that were going through my head every single minute. Yeah. It's like I was trying to figure out whose body I was in. I felt like it wasn't my body. I was trying to figure out how to be a mom, how to get my son to latch, how to get rid of the shakes that I was experiencing because of the epidural. I mean, everything. I went through so much mentally. And I really hope my bra wasn't showing back. Actually,
I'll add to that. When you see your child, those that are pregnant now or just found out they were pregnant or going through it and they're about to go through labor, I will say, I'll take words from dads that told me what it was like before the kid, once they've already had their kid. They said, you will never fall in love that fast again. They said immediately, you will put your life on a line for that little life that you're looking at. And speaking of little life, I think it's about time for us to take care of our little life because he seems a little irritated. He may be a little sleepy. We're going to put him down for a nap. But I will say, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I do think it's important that we give respect to those that are able to bring life into this realm of living. The closest thing to God is being able to create life. And though it takes two, we do need to make sure that we give our respects to the woman, because the woman is the only one that is able to actually produce life.
Yeah. And I do want us to do a part 2 in regards of mommy and daddy.
Oh, post pregnancy. We'll definitely do
yeah.
another show in regards of post pregnancy and what that looks like, because we still are actively in that, and it's going to be forever.
Yeah, we just graduated from our 4th trimester.
Right, we just graduated from our 4th trimester, and Daxon is 3 months now. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. We hope that you gained a lot of different perspective within this episode. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave comments. We want to know what you guys think, any sort of things that we might have missed that we could catch up on the next episode. And follow us on Instagram, everything. We really appreciate everyone that tunes in. Thank you.
Thank you. And
so
I love
much.
you.
I love you too, babe. Daxon, you good? All right, he got a face full of breasts right now, so.
Daxon says bye too.
Right, we'll speak on his behalf. We appreciate it, guys. Hope you have a good night, and we will see you next time.